Senator Sifuna, being the Secretary General of the ODM Party, to offer his condolence.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let me join the House and indeed the Senator of Kakamega to pass my condolences to the family and friends of the Honorable Godiva Omondi. As you have rightly put it, Madam Speaker, Honorable Godiva Omondi was nominated to this House by the Orange Democratic Movement Party. And Madam Speaker, it gave her the platform to demonstrate her leadership skills. Many were surprised that after the nomination to the Senate, she actually chose to go and contest a seat as an MCA in the County Assembly of Kakamega, which she won in Cholera Ward. Madam Speaker, for those who do not know, the people of Matungu constituency are all my in-laws. That is where my wife comes from. Madam Speaker, during the by-election in 2021, after the death of the then Member of Parliament for Matungu, I spent a lot of time in Matungu constituency campaigning for our candidate then. Madam Speaker, you can imagine that Godiva Omondi, being an elected Member of Parliament on ANC, decided that she was going to support the ODM candidate in that by-election, much to her detriment. In fact, it put her in very serious crosshairs with her own party, ANC. But I remember she took me to every single village within Cholera Ward, Madam Speaker, and campaigned with me and with the candidate for ODM, and the results were there for everyone to see. She then, Madam Speaker, ended up again as nominated MCA in the County Assembly of Kakamega, which she served until her untimely demise. I considered the Honorable Godiva a personal friend because I have worked with her. I have seen her passion in representation of persons living with disabilities and in her representation of the people of Cholera Ward. So on my behalf and on behalf of the party that I serve as SG, I want to take this opportunity to send my sincere, heartfelt condolences to the people of Kakamega in general and those of Cholera Ward in particular and the larger Matungu fraternity, and also say that may the Lord rest her soul in eternal peace. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Danson Mungatana.
Madam Speaker, I also want to join Honorable Boni Khalwale, Senator for Kakamega, in also registering my condolences for our departed colleague. Madam Speaker, from the description, this is a member who, despite her disability, she was able to win her own seat, which again goes to prove that disability is not an inability. Madam Speaker, I also want to send my condolences to the family and the members, friends who knew her. We wish her well in her journey to the next world. Madam Speaker, may I also take this opportunity to also send my condolences to an icon of Mombasa politics, the Honorable late Mohamed Jahazi, who also left us and was buried on Sunday. Madam Speaker, for those who know Mombasa politics and those of us who grew up there, we remember this mzee as a very active politician. We also want to say pole to his family and friends, and may God rest his soul in eternal peace. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
And Senator Catherine Uyekramoma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to eulogize a hero in this country. Madam Speaker, allow me to send condolences to the family of Godiva. I knew Godiva when I was at the CIC as a commissioner for the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution, and we had a workshop at the Lillian Towers when she raised the issue of being on the party list ahead of the senator who had been nominated. And I remember telling her, I went to her and I told her, you must go to court and fight this, because the party list requirement is that the person ahead, they cannot nominate a person below you and leave you. And she asked me, are you sure they will do anything about it? And I said, please go to court. And she went to court, and she actually won the case. And she was nominated to this house. Madam Speaker, when she went on to run in Cholera and won, I was so impressed, because, as you know, the politics of this country, it is violent, it is too competitive, but Godiva was able to go and compete and do well. As Senator Sifuna puts it, we campaigned with her in Matungu and she was fearless. Madam Speaker, all I'm saying is that she is a great example that disability is not inability, and I hope that in memory of Godiva, we will have more persons with disability, particularly women with disability, coming out to participate in the political arena and represent the way she did. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Esther Anyeno Kenyuru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also wish to join Senator Boni in sending my deepest condolences to the family, friends, people of Kakamega for the loss of Honorable Godiva. I might not know very much about her, but from the descriptions given, she's a good example of someone who's used the affirmative position constructively to impact society. And you see, she even went ahead after getting the affirmative position to be elected, being in Senate, being as member of County Assembly, and now nominated. I think we have a taste of all those ends. I'm inspired by how, despite being able differently, she was able to go beyond what ordinary people think that once you're nominated, there's least contribution for you to make other than be a flower girl. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Madam Speaker, let me also join my colleagues to send my sincere condolences to the family, friends, relatives, and the people of Kakamega County for the loss of Honorable Godiva Omondi. Godiva was a personal friend and a political associate. Madam Speaker, when I was the Secretary General of ANC, I was very, very active in poaching members from other parties. And one of the people I poached from ODM then was Honorable Godiva Omondi, who was a senator. And Godiva came to me and said that I do not want to be a member of parliament or a senator, I want to be an MCA. And Madam Speaker, at that point in our party, we had a controversy on how to choose one aspirant, one candidate among several aspirants who are fighting each other. There were around 15 of them, led by former MP Honorable Murunga. So I tried to convince her to contest for Matungu parliamentary seat, and she said, no, I want to be an MCA. And many people never understood why she wanted to be an MCA. But Madam Speaker, I want to confess that she made a huge contribution in the County Assembly of Kakamega. She put in more energy, put in more tranquility, and Kakamega County Assembly was one of the mature assemblies in this country, courtesy of the contribution of Godiva Omondi. So I have lost a friend, a political associate, and even when I was facing tribulations as a nominated member of parliament in ANC, Godiva Omondi was one of the people who stood with me strongly and openly, despite her disability, to say that we need democracy in this party. When we were not offered that democracy, we all left and joined ODM openly in daytime. And we went to campaign for an ODM candidate in Matungu with Godiva Omondi, even though we were members of ANC. So I have lost a political friend and associate, and I want to join the family to say that we will stand together at this very difficult moment that we have lost our good friend Godiva Omondi. May the Lord rest her soul in eternal peace.
Senator Wakoli Wafula, and then we'll wind that session with Senator Asige.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa nafasi hii kuwapa pole familia, watu wa Kolera Ward, watu wa eneo bunge la Matungu kwa kumpoteza mheshimiwa shupavu. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimewahi kukaa katika vikao mbalimbali na mheshimiwa marehemu ambaye licha ya ulemavu wake wa kimaumbile alikuwa mkamilifu wa fikra na mweupe wa moyo, na yale yote aliyoweza kufanya katika eneo lake la uwakilishi. Mheshimiwa Spika, mashinani walimwenzi, walimpenda, na kukata kwake kamba, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni pigo kwa demokrasia na uwakilishi wa wanawake katika uongozi wa nchi hii. Kando na viongozi wanawake ambao hawajibiki kimaadili na tabia zao, Mheshimiwa Godiva alikuwa na familia, aliwapenda wanawe, alipenda mmewe, alipenda kanisa, na yeye ni kielelezo cha wanawake ambao wamedhihirisha kwamba ukimpa mwanamke nafasi, familia itakuwa imara, mwelekeo utapeanwa na matokeo yataonekana. Kule anakokwenda mkononi mwa Maulana, amwambie mwana wa Mungu Yesu kwamba sisi tulio hai tutaendelea na msalaba huu wa shida na mahangaiko duniani, lakini tunaamini lisilowezekana na binadamu kwa Mungu linawezekana. Godiva, safiri salama, tutakutana baadaye. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Asige.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I wish to also send my condolences to the friends and family and loved ones of Honorable Godiva Omondi, disabled County Assembly member, and we have a lot in common, Madam Speaker. Of course, as the only female with a disability in this House, I followed in her footsteps, and in fact, Madam Speaker, I stood on the shoulders of giants like herself who went before me and paved a way for women like myself to be able to be given a fighting chance to represent their people in the best way possible. Madam Speaker, Honorable Omondi isn't just somebody who paved the way and helped to pioneer the space of disability inclusion in Parliament and in the political space, but she also fought hard as a woman in general. As you all know, and as everyone in this House has seen for their own, especially during last week's impeachment motion, women go through a lot in politics. And it is tenfold, dare I say, when you are a female with a disability in politics. But Honorable Omondi took on the challenge with a lot of grace, a lot of strength, and poise in all of the positions that she was able to hold until her demise recently. And I just want to appreciate her, even in her memory, though we were not able to speak all of these good things that we're saying here when she was alive. As people say, give flowers to people while they're still here. But nevertheless, Speaker, we wish to really condole with the family and the friends and pray that she does continue to rest in peace and actually to rest in power, I would say, because she has left a lot of power in the spaces that she has traversed, in the spaces that she's been able to create more inclusion and diversity, and a space that she has been able to have people with disabilities seen, people with disabilities heard and understood just by way of her being in the position that she was in, and to fight to stay in that space until this moment, until we lost her. Madam Speaker, I also just want to reiterate how important it is to be more inclusive of especially women with disabilities in the political space. In the last election, there were about 3,000 candidates, and out of 6,000 candidates, and out of those, only 6 with people with disabilities managed to get into seats that they vied for. That is a very low number, and that needs to be improved. And I hope that the spirit that she leaves behind as a woman with a disability fighting in this space, will we in this House and in the National Assembly will honor her spirit and continue the work that she so diligently did for all the time that she served all of us as Kenyans. I thank you.
Honorable Senators, I note there are many requests, but allow me to only allow Senator Matzayo, as a minority leader, to give her his condolence in 1 minute. Then we close out.
Asante, Speaker, kwa kunipa nafasi hii na mimi niweze kupeana ombolezi langu. Bwana Speaker, Madam Speaker, kitu cha kwanza ni kwamba nataka kutoa pole sana kwa familia ya Godiva Omondi, Senator aliyekuwa katika lile bunge letu la kwanza la Senate hapa ndani, na niliyekuwa anafanya naye kazi karibu sana kama rafiki. Senator Godiva alikuwa mtu mkakamavu sana, alikuwa mchangamfu na hali yake ya afya ilikuwa sawa kabisa, na alikuwa akichangia sana mambo ya kina mama. Kwa hiyo yeye, mimi ninavyomuelewa Godiva, hakuwekwa katika lile bunge letu la pili, lakini lile la kwanza alikuwa mkangamavu sana, na mambo ya mama alikuwa anaweza kuyaweka mbele sana, na hususan zaidi ilikuwa ya watu walemavu kama alivyokuwa yeye mwenyewe. Mwenyezi Mungu amechukua roho yake, kiumbe chake amekwenda nacho mwenyewe. Alimleta hapa akiwa na sababu na amemchukua akiwa na sababu. Sote sisi ni kuweza kukubali aliopitisha Mwenyezi Mungu. Kitu tunafanya ni kuwaombea wale waliobaki nyuma, familia yake, marafiki zake, wawe na moyo wa kuwa na faraja ili waweze kupita mtihani huu kwa hivi sasa. Sisi letu tuliobaki hapa katika bunge letu la Senate, kama sisi watu ambao tunamfahamu, ni kumuomba Mwenyezi Mungu ailaze roho ya marehemu mahali pema walipolala wema. Asante, Speaker.
May her rich legacy live on. May her soul rest in peace. Clerk, let's have the next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Now call upon the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources to present the report. Senator Methu, is it Senator Methu? Where is the deputy? Are you? Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, to come forward and present their report.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following petition report on the table of the Senate today, 14th November 2023. Report on the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on petition to the Senate by Mr. Elijah Mudhungi on behalf of Supply Chain Management, assistance concerning discrimination against other health workers in the Ministry of Health. So I lay.
Next order. Senator Murgo, you can speak into that report.
Okay. Madam Speaker, the petition concerning alleged discrimination against other health workers in the Ministry of Health was tabled in Senate on 20th July 2023. 43 supply chain management assistants from Kitui County countersigned the petition on behalf of other supply chain management assistants from the 47 counties, with the lead petition being Mr. Elijah Mudhungi. The petitioners were concerned that the SCMA deployed across all the county governments, including health facilities where they offer essential services such as receiving, storing, issuing pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical items, among other duties, being on call all weekends and holidays, and during emergencies are not considered for allowances, despite the compendium of remuneration and benefits for the public service of December 2022 requiring that all health workers receive health service allowances and extraneous allowances. The petitioners then prayed to the Senate to address the grievances and ensure that the SCMAs deployed in health facilities in the country, counties benefit from health services allowances and extraneous allowances, and no health worker is discriminated upon. The petitioners also wanted the Senate to compel the Ministry of Health to develop policy guidelines geared towards recognition of SCMAs attached to the health departments across the country. Madam Speaker, the committee made the following observations during the interventions with the petitioners and other stakeholders, who include the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors, Kenya Institute of Supplies Management, Salaries and Remuneration Commission, and the Union of Kenya Civil Servants. The petitioners use the term Ministry of Health to mean the county departments of health, since they are employees of the county governments. 2, the Kenya Health Policy 2014-2030, by extension the Health Act on Act 2017, do not classify SCMAs serving in hospital and health facilities as health care workers. Currently, they are not workers per health professions standards as prescribed in the WHO guidelines on health professionals. 3, SCMA offered essential services during COVID-19 pandemic as suppliers, practitioners, alongside other health professionals like doctors, nurses, among others, but SCMA did not receive any extraneous allowances. For supply chain management assistants do not receive allowances from the Ministry of Health or the county governments like other health workers, hospital, healthcare facilities, as they do not consider health workers, they are not considered as health workers. Unlike drivers and among attendants and other support staff, SCMS and other offers performing administrative duties like clerks, accountants, financial officials, and human resource, and not entitled to any extensions allowances. The committee made the following recommendations in response to the petitioners and prayers. The county government may consider, according to allowances to SCMS alongside other county government employees. The Ministry of Health should operationalize the Kenya Health Services Intergovernmental Consultative Forum, Kenya Health Human Resource Advisory Council, and the Kenya Health Professional Oversight Authority established the Health Act 2027 with immediate effect and submit a report to the House within 3 months upon tabling of this report. And 3, the Ministry of Health convey governments and SRC should streamline allowances of all workers in the health sector. Madam Speaker, pursuant to the Standing Order 238, I table this report on the petition concerning alleged discrimination against other health workers or Supply Chain Management Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Wahome, can you step in for the chairperson, Standing Committee on the Land, Environment, Resources, and present the report?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Table the Senate today on the 14th of November 2023. The report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on the petition to the Senate by the residents of Shoka, Mihango, in Nairobi County regarding illegal demolition at Mihango, Jiro, Shoka. 2, the report on the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by 3 petitioners from the Lungari East African Tanning Extract Company on behalf of the residents of Mautuma Settlement Scheme concerning the degazettement of 1577.86 hectares of Rugari Talbo Forest in Kakamega County. 3, the report on the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Charles Waikoa on behalf of the residents of Laikipia West constituency regarding the degazettement of the land reference of number 12493 situated west of Rumuruti Township in Laikipia. Madam Speaker, the Senate Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources at its sitting held on the 28th of October 2023 adopted the following 3 committee reports as follows. A report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on the petition concerning delayed gazettement of land L12493 located in West Rumuruti Township, Laikipia County. Madam Speaker, the members of the committee sifted through the issues raised by the petitioners and analyzed the issues to be determined from the prayers of the petitioners. Prayer 1. On the prayer to direct the Chief Conservator of Forests to degazette parcel of land LL number 12493 situated west of Rumuruti Township in Laikipia County, the committee observed that 1. The process of alteration of the forest boundary degazettement is described in details in Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act of 2016. which provides that a petitioner or any person may petition Parliament to institute the process that leads to gazettement. Therefore, the committee notes that there is need for the Ministry to take responsibility and ensure that the relevant process towards ensuring a solution to the current impasse commences. 2. In accordance with Section 34 of the Forest, petition may be petitioned to the Parliament for the boundary variation of or revocation of the public forest. However, no evidence was submitted indicating that this process was initiated. Further, an environmental impact assessment report and evidence of the public participation was not submitted before the committee. The land in Lariake remains ungazetted as forest land. Therefore, the process to ensure that its gazettement should be fastened together with the gazettement of parcel number 1249-3, player 2. Recommend that the relevant agency of the national and county governments urgently move to put in place the infrastructure, roads, bridges, drainage works, electricity, water, schools and dispensary, administrative office, police post and other amenities in the area. And the committee urges the county government of Laikipia to provide services equally to all residents of Laikipia County as per Article 43 of the County Government of Kenya 2010. Prayer 3. Recommends that the county government of Laikipia includes the firm in preparation of the county integrated and annual development plans and in allocating budgets for the construction, grading, maintenance, infrastructure projects, and other amenities thereof. The committee observed that similarly, as it is the second player, the committee observes that the county government should ensure that services are offered and all budgets and plans are aligned to cater for the persons residing in the said land parcel. Committee's recommendation. Madam Speaker, from the foregoing, the committee recommends that, in accordance with Section 36 of the Forest Management Act, the KFS should immediately initiate and commence the process of degazettement of the land parcel Rumuruti, parcel number 1249-3, being an extension of 149 hectares from Rumuruti Forest. Gazettement of Larike Forest Block number 2467/1 that is set to now benefit the Kenya Forest Services with 127.3 hectares, being an addition to the Larike Forest. The county government of Laikipia should embark on ensuring that services are offered to the residents residing in this parcel as Article 43 of the County Government of Kenya indicate, including aligning the county integrated and annual development plans to ensure the area is also developed. The committee recommends that the report on the progress be tabled before the committee within 3 months of tabling this report. B. The report on the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, Natural Resources on the petition concerning illegal demolition of Mihango Jiro Shoka. Madam Speaker, the members of the committee sifted through the issues raised by the petitioner and as the issues to be determined from the prayers of the petition. Prayer 1. That this petition be dealt with immediately in view of the urgency of this matter and the seriousness of the issues raised. The committee observed that the subject matter of the petition pertained to matters that were actively in court. As such, in accordance with the Standing Order 103-2, the petition was deemed sub judice. Consequently, the committee resolved to suspend its deliberation on the petition. Prayer 2. That the National Land Commission be compelled to issue Shoka resident with the deeds. In accordance with the Supreme Court Advisory Opinion Reference Number 2 of 2014, the responsibility to issue title deeds lies with the relevant State Department responsible for the distribution of titles and not the National Land Commission. Further, there would be a need to ascertain whether these houses were constructed along the wayleaves. Prayer 3. That the Speaker of the House and or the relevant committee of the House invoke their mandate and duty to summon the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum. By letter reference, as stated, dated 16th August 2023, the committee invited the Cabinet Secretary and Minister of Energy and Petroleum to a physical meeting with the committee to respond to matters raised in the petition. The committee's recommendation. Madam Speaker, from the foregoing, the committee recommends that in view of the fact the issue of the petition is made before a court of law, the matter is considered sub judice pursuant to Senate Standing Orders 103 subsection 2, and as such, the consideration of the petition is deferred pending the determination of the court. Report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on the petition concerning delayed gazettement of 1577.86 of land in Lungari, Talbo. Madam Speaker, the members of the committee sifted through the issues raised by the petitioner and analyzed the issues. It will be determined from the prayers of the petitioners. Prayer 1, that this petition be dealt with immediately in view of the urgency of this matter and the seriousness of the issues raised. The committee acknowledges the gravity and the urgency of the issues raised in the petition. It is particularly observed that process of degazetting Lugari Talbo forest land had been initiated but was not seen through into completion, further exhibiting the uncertainties faced by the residents. The immediate attention and resolution of this matter, therefore, is paramount, both in the best interest of justice and the welfare of the affected residents. Prayer 2, that the Speaker of the House invoke his mandate and duty to call for the recommendation of the Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources through the Kenya Forest Service to enable resolution by the Parliament of the disgazettement of the 77.86 hectares of Lugari constituency, Kakamega County. The committee recognizes the commitment to play a leading role in the addressing the ongoing issues, particularly in the undertaking to facilitate the formation and activities of the multi-stakeholder team. The establishment and facilitation of the multi-stakeholder team as proposed by the ministry should serve as a critical step in ensuring the rights and the interests of the petitioners are realized. While the approval of the degazettement had been previously recommended, the committee urges immediate action from the ministry in accordance with the provisions of Section 34 of the Forest Conservation and Management Act. Prayer 3, that the Speaker of the House and all relevant committee of the House invoke their mandate and duty to summon the Cabinet Secretary for Environment and Natural Resources to explain the reasons for the delay. While the letter referenced Senate to the Minister, dated 23rd June 2023 and 4th July respectively, the Ministry of Environment was requested for a rescheduling of the meeting and via the letter to the Senate dated 25th July 2023. The Cabinet Secretary was represented by the Principal Secretary, Mr. Gitonga Mugambi, who appeared before the committee on Thursday, 3rd August 2023 with apologies from the Cabinet Secretary. The committee admitted written responses to this particular matter. The committee acknowledges that while a certain step towards the degazettement, such as the processing of the AI report and public participation was initiated, the complete due process as required by the Act 2016 Act was not completed. These have subsequently caused delays in the issuance of titles, leaving the residents of the settlement scheme in a state of vulnerability. In light of this, the committee underscores the importance of upholding the economic and social rights of these residents as enshrined in Article 43 of the Constitution. It is the utmost importance that relevant government agencies address and rectify these gaps promptly to ensure the residents' rights are safeguarded while awaiting the resolution of the petition. Committee's recommendation. Madam Speaker, from the foregoing, the committee recommends that the proposed degazettement of 15... Madam Speaker. Oh.
Senator Wamatinga.
So, sorry. Well, let me apologize.
I will let you get away with that.
I had not...
the time I was walking in, your eyes were fixed to the...
Oh, sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the foregoing, the committee recommends that the proposed degazettement of 1557.36 hectares of Talbo Forest Reserve comprising the Matuma Settlement Scheme in Lugari, Kakamega County be processed in accordance with Section 34 of the Forest Conservation Management Act. Noting that the process had been initiated, the committee further recommends that the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry fast-track this process and reports progress within 3 months following the adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker, I beg to table.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 5, papers.
The Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, the 14th of November, 2023. 1, Mr. Speaker,
the 10th State of the Nation address by His Excellency, the President, delivered at a joint sitting of Parliament on Thursday, 9th November 2023. 2, the 10th Annual Report 2022-2023 on the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of national values and principles of governance. And 3, the Annual Report to Parliament on the state of the national security, November 2023. 4, the 2023 budget review and outlook paper for the financial year 2024-2025 and the attendant medium-term budget. 5, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Inganga Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui for the year ended 30th of June 2022. 5, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Kaui Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kitui for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And 7, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Migwani Level 4 Hospital in the County Government of Kitui for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And 8, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Lumumba Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Kisumu for the year ended 30th of June 2023. And 9, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Kisumu County Referral and Teaching Hospital, County Government of Kisumu for the year ended 30th of June 2022. 10, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kericho County Referral Hospital, County Government of Kericho for the year ended 30th of June 2022. 11, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Londiani Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, County Government of Kericho for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And 12, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Kwale Sub-County Level 4 Hospital in the County Government of Kwale for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And 13, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Lungalunga Sub-County Hospital, County Government of Kwale for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And finally, but not least, Mr. Speaker, the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Msambweni County Referral Hospital, County Government of Kwale for the year ended 30th of June 2022. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I do lay the papers.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, again for the opportunity to give notice of the following motion. Being, Mr. Speaker, debate on the President's address to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, that pursuant to Standing Order number 25-1, the thanks of the Senate be recorded on the exposition of public policy contained in the address of His Excellency, the President, delivered on the 9th of November 2023, and further, that the Senate notes the following reports submitted by His Excellency, the President, in fulfillment of Article 132(1)(c) and 247 of the Constitution, which were laid on the table of the Senate, which are being laid on the table of this Senate today on Tuesday, 14th November 2023. These are: 1, the 10th State of the Nation address by His Excellency the President, delivered at a joint sitting of Parliament on Thursday, the 9th November 2023. 2, the 10th Annual Report
2022-2023 on the measures taken and progress achieved in realization of the national values and principles of governance. And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the annual report to Parliament on the state of the national security, November 2023. I thank you.
Next order. Now, statements pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Call the order, Clerk, please.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Senator Hamida Kibwana, she has requested that the same be deferred, so it is so deferred. Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Senator S.C. Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for a statement on theft and snatching of mobile phones and other electronic gadgets from unsuspecting Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the theft and snatching of mobile phones and other electronic gadgets from Kenyans, with indications that these stolen items are being sold in neighboring countries. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide a report on the trend in street muggings and home burglaries from 2020 to date, specifically focusing on incidents involving the snatching of mobile phones and theft of household electronics. 2, state reasons for the increase in number of street muggings and violent robberies involving the theft of electronic gadgets, highlighting the hotspots within the 4 cities in the country, as well as the monthly incident rates and the recovery rates of stolen items. 3, investigate and report on the economic impact of this criminal activity, identifying the primary markets for the stolen items both within our borders and internationally, detailing the networks and syndicates involved in this illicit trade. 4, state any measures in place to deter these crimes and evaluate their effectiveness, making recommendation on modern tactics and legal or policy interventions to dismantle the criminal syndicates. And finally, appraise the Senate on actions and strategies being employed by the security forces to protect Kenyans from such criminal activities and ensure the safety and security of both the citizenry and their goods. Senator Esther Anyeni, MP.
Senator Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Nimesimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni ya kudumu ya 53(1) kuomba taarifa kutoka kwa kamati ya kudumu ya fedha na bajeti kuhusu shirika la Kenya National Insurance ambalo liko katika hali ya upokeaji. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika taarifa hiyo kamati yaangazia yafuatayo: yaarifu Seneti kuhusu hali halisi ya upokeaji huo ilipofikia wakati huu katika shirika hilo, ikieleza iwapo kumekuwa na maendeleo katika hali yao ya kifedha na shughuli zao kwa jumla. Pili, ieleze kwa nini maskota wanaoishi katika ardhi iliyoko Mombasa kwa Bulo, kaunti ndogo ya Nyali na ilimilikiwa na shirika hilo, wameshindwa kuuziwa ardhi hiyo, ilhali mwekezaji mmoja wa kibinafsi anayedai kulipa 20% ya bei hiyo ya ununuzi alishindwa kununua ardhi hiyo. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the Kenya Defense Forces KDF recruitment of General Service Officers, GSO, cadets, that is regular and graduate degree holders, specialist officers, general duty recruits, tradesmen and women, and Defense Forces constables in 2022 and 2023. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should table a comprehensive report on the recruitment exercises conducted by the KDF in 2022 and 2023, indicating the respective dates and venues. Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should also explain any disparity between the vacancies open as at time of the respective recruitment exercises vis-a-vis the actual number of candidates enlisted. And Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should provide per county and per ethnicity breakdowns of the candidates enlisted from the recruitment exercises. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should outline measures put in place to ensure that the national values of inclusivity and diversity, as enshrined in the Constitution, are upheld by the KDF in the recruitment process. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wafula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare concerning the delayed payment to over 700 enumerators / agropreneurs who are engaged in the exercise of data collection and registration of farmers in Bungoma County. In the statement, the committee should, 1, state the person's identity responsible for enumerating the agripreneur who are engaged as enumerators in the data collection and registration exercise for farmers in Bungoma County between 19th, 2023 and October 13th, 2023. Number 2, provide a breakdown of the payment rates per enumerator for services rendered, including any additional allowance they were entitled to during the period of engagement. 3, explain whether the funds earmarked for the exercise were released by the Treasury and any reasons for the delay in payment to the entrepreneurs or enumerators, clearly stating when they should expect to be paid and outlining any plans in place to prevent such delays in future. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on policies governing appointment of persons in acting capacity in the public service sector. In the statement, the committee should, 1, elucidate the specific conditions that allow for the termination of an acting appointment before a permanent appointment is done. 2, state the duration of serving in an acting capacity and outline the circumstances that will warrant an extension of the acting appointment. 3, spell out the guidelines in place for public servants in acting roles, highlighting both acceptable practices and potential violations that may result in disciplinary actions. 4, investigate and provide a comprehensive report on the issue at the National Health Insurance Fund, where an officer who served as the acting head of the Supply Chain Department from December 2022 to June 2023 was removed from the position despite a court's conservatory order suspending the withdrawal of his appointment. And 3, recommend measures to be put in place by government institutions to prevent legal disputes between civil servants and the government concerning acting appointments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Gloria Roba. That statement is dropped. Senator Maruma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 4 statements. Allow me to go through all of them. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is on the implementation of the presidential directive on lowering the entry requirements for diploma teacher training programs. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to request a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on the implementation of the presidential directive on lowering of entry requirements to diploma teacher training. Confirm whether the Ministry of Education has implemented the presidential directive on lowering of entry requirements to diploma teacher training programs to a mini grade of C plain and C plus in the 2 teaching subjects. 2, confirm whether the ministry is aware that colleges are unable to implement to enforce the presidential directive. 3, indicate whether the circular will be issued and subsequently communicated to colleges. And 4, provide a list of colleges that will now offer diploma courses in secondary education while indicating their areas of specialization for both arts and science subjects following this directive. Statement number 2 is on pending bills in Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the status of pending bills in Taita Taveta County. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide a list of all suppliers, the cost of goods supplied and services rendered, amounts paid, and outstanding payments from financial year 2017-2018 to date, stating reasons for the non-payment of any outstanding bill. 2, outline the county government's plan to settle the pending bills while indicating the proposed budgetary allocation per financial year for the pending bills. 3, confirm whether the presidential directive in 2019 on settlement of pending bills was implemented by the county government while presenting a record of the suppliers' amounts already disbursed and the amounts outstanding. And 4, explain how the 420, I think it should be 424,110,000 released to the county government via the Treasury Circular dated 11th December 2019, designated for pending bill payment settlements, was utilized, providing a comprehensive list of suppliers, the respective amounts paid, and the validated bill settlement plan that prompted the release of these funds. Mr. Speaker, the third statement is on the completion status of Voi Girls School in Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education concerning the status of completion of the construction of Voi Girls School in Voi Sub-County of Taita Taveta County. In the statement, the committee should, 1, disclose the funds allocated to the county by the Kenya Railway Corporation for the relocation of Voi Girls School to pave way for the construction of the standard gauge railway SGR, detailing any financial transactions and agreements made in the process. 2, provide the bill of quantities for the project, clearly stating the projected costs of each aspect of the construction and any other related expenses. 3, state the project completion rate and the amount of money paid to date, including a breakdown of payments made and the respective stages of the project they covered since the project initiation. And 4, explain whether there is any pending payment, stating reasons for the delay in making such payment, and detail any outstanding construction and landscaping works along with the expected duration of time required for the project completion. The last one, Mr. Speaker, is on the disregard of the conditions of allotment of Msambweni community land to Batashu Company Limited. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the disregard of the conditions of allotment of Msambweni community land in Voi Sub-County, Taita Taveta County, to Batashu Company Limited. In the statement, the committee should, 1, explain why Batashu Company Limited did not build a factory on the Msambweni community land situated in Voi Sub-County, Taita Taveta County, which was allocated to it, but instead transferred the lease grant to Sparkle Properties Limited in contravention of the conditions of allotment. 2, provide a status update on investigations by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations into the transfer of the lease grant for the land. And 3, outline any measures put in place to ensure that residents of Msambweni who occupy the land are not evicted by Sparkle Properties Limited. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The statement by Senator Hamida Kibwana is deferred. That is pursuant to the request by the said Senator. Senator Christo Asige.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the prevalence of corporal punishment in our education institutions. In this statement, the committee should explain the justification for the continued use of corporal punishment, though it contradicts the principles outlined in the Constitution of Kenya, specifically provisions of Article 29 of our Constitution, as well as Section 4P of the Basic Education Act, number 14 of 2013. Outline the mechanisms in place for students to report incidences of corporal punishment within education institutions without fear of retaliation or reprisal, and state the safeguards in place to protect witnesses in such cases. Elaborate on the reasons behind the lack of a public decisive action or stance against corporal punishment by the ministry, even though there has been a recent surge in cases that resemble torture, resulting in tragic deaths. These fatalities include young children, including Mike Wanjala, Kevin Kiptanui, Ebi Samuels, and alarmingly, reports suggesting that the actual number of student deaths could be much, much higher, with at least 20 reported only in the last few years. And explain the absence of punitive measures taken against individuals responsible for these corporal punishments, and investigate the factors contributing to this gross lack of accountability. I thank you.
Senator Mohammed Chute. You have 5 requests to make.
Yes.
Take them in that breath.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll go through it very fast. The first one is on the status of court construction projects in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights regarding the status of court construction projects in Kenya. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide an update on the status of court construction projects across the country, particularly in Marsabit County, highlighting the projects that have stalled or delayed and the reason behind these delays. 2, inform the Senate of the process used in tendering for the projects, providing details of the bids received, the contractors who were awarded, and the bid amounts. 3, provide a breakdown of the budget allocation and expenditure for the projects in the last 5 years, stating any financial, administrative, or logistical challenges that may have been encountered in the execution of the projects. And finally, number 4, Mr. Speaker, explain any disparities between the contractual and actual commencement and completion dates of the project, outlining plans by the government to expedite the completion of the project to ensure efficient and timely dispensation of justice. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on the financial status of the Kenya Railways Corporation. In the statement, the committee should 1, provide a detailed report on the current financial status of Kenya Railways Corporation, including its revenue, expenses, and any outstanding debts or financial challenges it may be facing. Number 2, clarify whether the government has provided any financial support or bailouts to the institution in recent years, and if so, provide information on the amount, terms, and conditions of such support.